everyone, welcome to Model Behavior, the WizKids weekly RPG showcase. My name is Jessa Blackthorne, and I am so excited to be bringing this show to you today. I hope you are having a wonderful Wednesday, and thank you so much for tuning in. A little bit about this show before we get started today. This is the WizKids RPG showcase. I talk about WizKids RPG products. I do previews, I do unboxings. We sometimes, put together minis on the show, so it's a lot of really fun stuff. But this show is a show about RPG products, so unfortunately I can't really answer your questions about our other product lines. If you have a question about one of our other product lines, Dice Masters, board games, HeroClix, Attack Wing, anything like that, the best place to find that information is the WizKids social media channels. So you can go to WizKids Games on Twitter or Instagram, or you can go to WizKids on Facebook, and that's going to be one of the best places to get information about upcoming WizKids products from our other product lines, or you can go to WizKids.com, of course. That's also a great resource. This show is also pre-recorded, so what that means is that I'm not coming to you live right now. I am pre-recording this show. However, I am live in the chat, following along, watching the show alongside you, so if you do have any questions about anything you're seeing on today's show, don't worry, I can still answer those questions. What you want to do is type all caps question in the chat, and then I'll be able to answer your question right there. Of course, I can't promise I'll be able to answer every question, but I do my best to be able to do that. If you want to follow me on social media, I am at @the_Blackthorne. I will put that in the chat. I'm doing some really cool RPG related stuff this weekend, so definitely check out my Twitter account. I've been posting about it. It would be really cool if you could tune in. But without any further ado, thank you so much for tuning into this episode of Model Behavior. We have a great show for you today. So what we are doing today is we are unboxing Wave 2 of WizKids Pre-Painted Critical Role Miniatures. I am so excited for this. These figures are amazing. They are coming out later this month, and I am so excited to be able to finally show them off for you. It's going to be fantastic. We also actually, just as a little piece of news before we jump on into the unboxing, we just announced Wave 2 of our Critical Role unpainted miniatures. So you can head to WizKids.com for all the information on that announcement and to be able to pre-order those figures as well. Today's show is focused on Wave 2 of the pre-painted miniatures, but I did just want to mention that so that you could find more information about that announcement. Without further ado, we're going to get started on the unboxing. I have all of the figures here. So we are going to start with... I'm gonna switch over to the unboxing. This is Critical Role Characters of Taldori, and this is set 1, so there's only one of these sets, but if we do maybe in the future Characters of Taldori again, I can't promise that we are or are not, but we call this one set 1. And this is $59.99, so most of these smaller sets, you'll see a bunch of the sets like this today, and I'll talk about that loose piece in a minute. They're all $59.99. I will tell you the price of each of these as we're going, so don't worry. I promise you'll know the price of everything as we're going, but definitely pre-order these if you haven't. They are amazing. So this is what the packaging looks like. It's very similar to the packaging of the last set. It has some lovely renders of all of the figures in the set, including, of course, one of the figures that I know all of you are very excited about, and we are definitely going to mention that. So we are going to pull this out of the box. You might have noticed a loose piece. I kind of mentioned it before, but the loose piece is one of the figures that comes in the set is the Crag Hammer Goat Knight, and I will show that to you, and he has a saddle to sit on the goat steed with, and so that is what that piece is. This is a sample. These are all samples that have already been opened, so these were returned to their original state before the show, but so because it's been taken out of the box, it's a little harder to get back into the box, which is why it's kind of set up like that. So, it's really not a saddle so much as it's his legs, but same difference. So we are I'm going to pop these out from the bottom because I'm so scared of breaking anything. I am, as we all know, if you watch this show, I am a very clumsy person, and so I am scared to break these figures. So I'm going to start with this guy right here. So I will show you the body of the figure up close, and then I will also be showing you let's fix this focus here so that you can really see what I'm doing. There we go. I will show you the body of the figure. So this is the Crag Hammer Barbarian. And it's number 4 of 9 in the box. So, many of you have asked me to show the bases of the figures on the show. Because of the clear bases, it's actually a little bit harder to capture the bases on camera. I'm trying my best, but it doesn't always focus. So what I do, I tend to do on the show is I tend to read out the base of the figure, and that's just so you know, again, what the number is. So I'm trying one more time. Yeah, it's really hard to get it to clearly focus, so I tend to read off the numbers. So this is the Crag Hammer Barbarian. And again, he's number 4 of 9. That's that. So next up we have, put this back in the box. And I'll show you everything on the box at the end. So next up, we have the Tevere Rogue. So this is number 7 of 9. I'm fairly new to Critical Role, I'll be honest. I'm kind of listening and learning a lot, so if I pronounce anything completely wrong, please let me know so I know for the future. I'm finally able to get into Critical Role, and I'm really excited. I'm making time for it because I'm really enjoying it. I'm just terrible with pronouncing certain names. I'm trying my best, though. So, this is the Tevere Rogue, and this is number 7 of 9. Alright, and then next up we have the... So this is the guy that goes with the legs. So this is the Crag Hammer Goat Knight. And what's really cool about the Crag Hammer Goat Knight, he is number 5 of 9. And what's really cool about him, and I'll show you, is that he actually comes off the base. The torso comes off of the base. Come on, please focus. I think if I take this out from behind, it should focus a little bit better. The torso actually comes off like this, and then what you can do is, he is a goat knight, so he has a goat to ride in this set as well, and what you do is you can actually put the torso right like that, and then he is able to mount the goat Steed, which I will do next. So this is the Crag Hammer Goat Steed. The number on him is 3 of 9. I guess I don't know if it's a him. But the Crag Hammer Goat Steed's number is 3 of 9. And so this, what you can do is actually place it right on the goat. I think you have to take the saddle off. Yeah, so the saddle on the goat steed, you can either use the goat steed by itself or you pull the saddle off of it, and then you can place it, the goat knight, right on the steed. And there you have, so it's a really functional piece. And actually, if you look at the back of the box, it shows you exactly how to do that. So that's really cool. The saddle, at first glance, might not look like it comes off of the goat steed, but it does. You could just pull it right off. Super easy. So that's something to keep in mind. So that is the Crag Hammer Goat Knight on his goat steed, and the piece that's his legs is really the part that has trouble staying in the packaging. But that's okay. As long as it stays inside the packaging, I'm not really too concerned, and I don't think you should be either. I think it's fine. Alright, and then next up we have, he doesn't want to stay on his body now, so I'm just going to put this right back on the goat, and then next up we have the cool Tevere Fighter. So this is number 8 out of 9. So the details on these are really awesome. They have a lot of character. It really kind of brings you into the world of Taldori. So I really love this shield. I think the shield is so cool. So I believe I already said 8 of 9, but just in case I didn't, I'm saying it again. And then next we have I don't know why I keep putting these back in the packaging. I want to show it to you. I'm going to show you all the packaging so that I can just pull everything out. So this is what it all looks like together in the packaging. And then moving on to the next figure. We have, this is the Verdant Guard Ranger, number 9 out of 9. So as you can see, character is very elf-like and very, I mean, I believe it's an elf. I'm 99.9% sure it's an elf. But very, very flavorful. You have a lot of character here. You really get the feel for how this ranger would fit into the world, and I really like that. And I like the colors. Very earthy, very verdant. So it works really nicely. I'm just gonna put these off to the side. Of course, I'm saving the best figure in this set for last. We still have 2 more before we get there. But next we have the... this is the River Maw Stormborn. So, this is a very fearsome warrior. He looks very intense. He looks like he's ready to fight, and I really like that. A lot of fun. Definitely something I could see on my table. And definitely a nice fit into the world of Critical Role. And then we have the legs fell down, but that's okay. It happens. This figure does not want to come out of the box. There we go. Then we have the River Maw Brawler. She is number 2 of 9. There we go. So again, a lot of detail, a lot of character. Really, like, this is the kind of character I would love to play because it seems like the figure is so interesting. And I would enjoy, like, creating a character around this figure. And then, last, but absolutely by no stretch of the imagination least, by that, absolutely by no stretch of the imagination not least. I'm trying to not make this a double negative. Last but not least, how about we just stick with the normal way of saying that idiom? If, you know, he would like to come out of the packaging here, I'm gonna just pop the figure out. There we go. We have, of course, the iconic, the leader of Critical Role himself, number 1 of 9, Matthew Mercer. The figure itself does say Matt Mercer on the bottom. I generally use Matthew Mercer, but up to you. Just so you can see, so it'll focus a little better. This really, like, they did a really great job bringing Matthew to life on this figure. No, it doesn't want to focus. Come on. They're all here to see Matthew Mercer. The least you can do is focus. There we go. Just, it's a great figure. It is number 1 of 9 in the set, and it's amazing. I love it so much. So, like I said, this is set 1, Characters of Taldori. There we go. This is just a really great representation of Matthew. Characters of Taldori. So there are 9 figures in the set if you don't count the legs. That comes separate. But it's a great 1, 2, 3. Can I count? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wait. No, it is 9. I can't count. If you watch this show regularly, you know I'm bad at math. So I just wanted to be sure it was 9. It is 9. 9 awesome figures. You got Matthew Mercer in there. You got some amazing characters from the world of Taldori. definitely worth picking up. $59.99 for the characters of Taldori Set. Now we are going to move on to the next set. So next we have NPCs of Exandria. So NPCs of Exandria, this is set 1. And again, this is another example of we may in the future someday do another set that's NPCs of Exandria. So because we want to have that possibility, we mark this one as set 1 so that we don't create any confusion in the future. So we are gonna get started on the NPCs of Exandria set. So let's open this bad boy up. So, again, lots of different characters. I'll show you all of them one by one, but we have 10 figures in here. Different characters from Exandria. Most of them, if not all of them, recognizable from Critical Role. So, I'm gonna take the tape off here. And then we will get started with this unboxing of these characters. I always do this show in a live format because I feel like it works a little bit better than trying to pre-record everything and edit it and make it like super fancy. I like the live vibe. I'm an actor. I'm a stage actor. And if you know anything about the stage actors like to perform live. So this show always has a live feel to it. Great. Okay, so we are going to get started with, come on, there we go. We are going to start on this box with, this is the Clasp member, number 4 out of 10. There we go. So as you can see, again, really detailed, really beautifully painted, as all of our figures always are. There we go. I really like the pose on this one too. I think it's a lot of fun. I think it's a little kind of playful, but in like a frightening way, and I kind of like that. I think it's cool. Next, we have the Ravager Stabby Stabber. So this is number 8 out of 10. And then next, after the Ravager Stabby Stabber, who again has a lot of flair to him, we have, this is the Clasp Cut Throat. So the Clasp Cut Throat is definitely a rogue type character. Looks like they would be fearsome in a fight. This is number 2 out of 10. I really like the face on this one and also the hair color. I really like that kind of characterization. It reminds me of a halfling I played years ago. Next, number 6 out of 10, we have King Warren Drastic. Again, looking very regal, very powerful. Trying to, let's see if I can get the focus a little bit better. There. And this set, of course, like the previous set, is $59.99. Next up, we have the Clasp Enforcer. So, Clasp Enforcer is number 2 out of 10. I really like the beckoning hand here. I think it's a lot of fun. I think it's interesting and exciting. And I'm trying really, really hard to get the camera to focus. There we go. So that is the Clasp Enforcer. Next, we have the Remnant Chosen. This is number 9 out of 10. The Remnant Chosen. I love when we include like clear magic pieces on the figures. I think that they add just so much to the figure and the scene that's being set by the figure, and I think that this one is no different. I also love that they use the kind of shades of like eggplant in this, and I really like it. I hear that if you use like a... I just knocked over a bunch of pencils, but I was gonna say, I hear that if you use like a pencil on the bottom of, because the things have holes in them, they're supposed to make it a little easier to get out. Apparently not for me. That's okay. There we go. It's not as hard as I'm making it out to be. I just am bad at it. So this is Jor-El the Catogeist. I believe I pronounced that correctly, but again, please correct me if I'm wrong. Jor-El the Catogeist, and Jor-El is number 5 out of 10. There we go. And this one has a lot of detail to the sculpt. I can't get over how much detail is on this sculpt. It's really, really cool. The way they use the colors, and just the general, like... There's so many different textures on this sculpt, too. It's kind of hard to tell, again, on camera, but this one has, like, just a bunch going on with it, and I really think it's cool. You know, they have a cool action pose. This is one of, I think, my favorites from this whole set. I think I said 5 of 10 for Jor-El, but just in case I didn't. Next up, we have the Ravager Slaughterlord, number 7 out of 10. The Ravager Slaughterlord. And again, this whole set is the NPCs of Exandria set 1. Next is Captain Avantika. Please tell me if I pronounced that wrong. Number 1 out of 10. Another one with a lot of fun colors. I always loved how, and I have always loved, and I do always love how, especially with Critical Role, they really went for it with, like, creating, like, taking these ideas of these characters and really turning them into something tangible but also unique. Like, each of these characters feels so interesting and so original and so unique and not just generic examples of fantasy tropes, and I really appreciate that. I mean, a lot of different, you know, RPG podcasts, streaming shows, RPG settings, anything like that, a lot of them do that too, but I really appreciate when that's done, and I appreciate Critical Role for doing that. I really always enjoy that. And the last one in this set is the Remnant Cultist, who is number 10 out of 10. And you might see some of these figures again in the unpainted, but you'd have to, you know, look at the announcement to see if that's the case. Remnant Cultist. Ignore my hand, that is from me attempting to open the box with the pencil before. And that is the whole NPCs of Exandria set. So 10 figures, all really fabulous. This one is $59.99, and now we are going to move on to the next one. And the next one is going to be, I just want to make sure, okay. So 1, 2, 3. I just want to make sure I grab the right one next. Yeah. Okay. So the next one is NPCs of Taldori 1. This is another case of set 1, set 2, hopefully. So this one is a really fun one. This one is focused on Ashari, and I really like the figures that were included in this, so I'm very excited to show these off. So you can see the different Ashari that are featured in this, and so I am just going to dive right into this. If I can get them out of the packaging. So the first up we have is the Ashari Stone Guard. So this set, even though the box is bigger, is still $59.99. So this is the Ashari Stone Guard. There are 7 figures in this set, and Ashari Stone Guard is 6 out of 7. So you got this fun figure, lots of color. And I really like that every character in this set feels really different. So next up, we have the Ashari Sky Dancer, who is number 5 out of 7. And then I wish I could really capture the detail in the face. The detail on this face is great. And the hair is also really cool. I really like it and appreciate the way the way they chose to do this. Next up, we have the Ashari Fire Tamer, number 2 out of 7. Ooh. If I can, capture it without dropping it. I can't imagine who has like steady enough hands that they can get their camera to focus without worrying about their shaking hands losing it focus. So yes, this is the Ashari Fire Tamer. Lots of detail on this. Lots and lots of detail with the paint. It's so well done. I love the flaming sword. Is it a scimitar? Please tell me. I'm not sure. I love just the way they did the color. I love the kind of warmer tones. I really appreciate it. And then we have the last of the humanoids in this set. And it is the Ashari Wave Rider, number 7 out of 7. And I love her. I'm not gonna lie. I think she's great. If she can get the camera to focus. She looks like she's, swimming in the sea, and I really like it, I think. And she has the hair like I used to. If you watched Much Ado About Gaming for a while, you might have remembered when I first started I had a white streak in my hair, and she has a white streak in her hair. The white streak might be back soon, by the way. Maybe. But yay, I love this figure so much. I think that it's great. I love that they are representing different body types in the figure as well. I really appreciate that. And that is number 7 out of 7, the Ashari Wave Rider. And then next up, we have, this is the Ashari Shark, which is a little bit of a tongue twister. Number 3 out of 7. This is a shark, and it's a great shark. It looks fierce, it looks angry, it looks like it's ready to fight. I really, they didn't skimp on the colors here in the way that they kind of played with the gray coloring to really give it a lot of dimension, and like, it looks very muscular, and with just the way they did the shadows on the paint, and I really like that. I appreciate it. I appreciate you, WizKids. I say on this streaming show for WizKids, but I also appreciate you, Critical Role. Next is the Ashari Fire Elemental. This is number 1 of 7. This looks like a fire... Is it a worm or a centipede? It looks like kind of more like a fire worm, but... I mean, I guess it's an elemental. But I'm curious what the creature itself is inspired by, or if it's just kind of its own thing. But it's, again, very frightening. Lots of color, lots of detail. The camera's not really capturing the way that they did the red and orange paint. Up close, there's so much texture, and there's a lot of light and shadow on it that really just, ooh, so good. Next up, we have the last figure in this set. If I can get it out of the packaging. And that is the... I apologize for the dreadful noise. We have the... Oh no. Just a second. Please hold. We have the Ashari octopus who wanted to start a fight and wanted to run away so they wouldn't be featured in the show. But you know what, Ashari octopus? I win. This is number 4 of 7. If you know anything about me, I love our octopus minis. I love the different ones we've done. I've painted some. I really like them. And so I really like this one because it looks really different. I like that it's more... It looks like it's in a again, it looks like it's in action. It looks excited. It looks like it's, you know, it looks like it's an octopus swimming in the sea. I love it. I think it's great, and I like this color choice for it. It's you know, it's great. I really think it's fantastic. So this is all seven figures. I wanted to be sure. In the NPCs of Taldori set, set 1. Again, $59.99. Another fantastic set as part of the Wave 2 Critical Role Pre-Painted Miniatures. And next, we will be continuing on to the... Let me clear these. Next, we will be continuing on to the next set, which is Monsters of Taldori Set 1. Give me just a moment here to make a little space on the table, because I want to make sure I have enough room for this. Hang on. Your patience, my friends, is much appreciated. Okay. So, Monsters of Taldori Set 1. This one is, as is the others, $59.99. The box is bigger. Kind of doing this in order of box size, so the boxes are getting bigger as we're going. That's on purpose. And this one includes 9 figures, actually. 9. It is... 9 figures. Just a moment here. Alright. This set is really cool. I really like the different characters. I'm just a little confused because it looks like it's missing stuff, but I don't think it's missing stuff. So I just want to double check what's supposed to be in here. Okay. Okay. So it looks like... Okay. So what it looks like is going on is that this set, the plastic has 2 extra spots, but the 2 extra spots are not actually being used by anything. So you might get this and think that stuff is missing, but it's not. There are 9 figures in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Counting as much for myself as for you. But I just wanted to be 100% sure. I didn't want to steer you wrong and show you a set that was missing figures. That would be very bad. So the first figure we're going to look at is actually a pair of figures. You get a figure with 2 unique poses in this, and that is another figure that I'm going to have some trouble pronouncing. And that is, again, tell me if I'm pronouncing this wrong, WizKids Serpent Folk Ghost. So it's a ghost version of the WizKids Serpent Folk, which also make an appearance in this set. And so this is the first pose. So these are numbered 8 of 9, and this is A, the WizKids Serpent Folk Ghost A. Love this, like, ghosty kind of translucent plastic. I think it's cool. And then we have WizKids Serpent Folk Ghost B. And this is 9 of 9. So again, you can see it's a different pose than the first one. So this one's got the spear and 2 arms. This one's kind of standing upright. And I appreciate that variety. And then the actual regular WizKids Serpent Folk, not a ghost, is also in this set. And that WizKids Serpent Folk has an even different pose. So if you really want to include a lot of WizKids Serpent Folk in your campaign, you have 3 pose options. And I really like that. So that is the WizKids Serpent Folk, number 7 of 9. And again, it's a different pose than the other 2. Next, after that, we have the Platinum Golem, number 6 of 9. I love metallic paint, and I love whenever metallic paint gets used, and I love this metallic paint. I also really like the symbols. I believe they're runes, but again, correct me, please, if I'm incorrect. I really like everything about that figure. I think it's fabulous. Next, after that, we have the, if I can get them out of the packaging. This one is a little bit tougher to get the stuff out, which is good because it means it's secure, so nothing's gonna break on you while it's shipping, and that is something that I really appreciate about these figures. And I'm like, as a person who buys minis, I am more than willing to, you know, give a little bit of difficulty to get it out of the packaging if it means that nothing's going to be damaged. So I'm really happy about that, actually. Even if it means I have trouble doing this, and I feel like I'm also somebody who particularly struggles with this stuff. So that's particularly a problem for me. Your mileage may vary, depending on your dexterity level. I rolled a 1 in dexterity, so next is the Magma Landshark, number 4 out of 9. Lots of character, really beautiful detail on the body. The sculpt is very interesting. I like the texture of it. It's fantastic. Just absolutely great figure. Look at the mouth. Amazing. Awesome. So awesome. Now we have the next row of miniatures here in the Monsters of Taldori Set 1. First up, we have the Cobalt Golem, number 3 of 9. And I know I was talking about my love of metallic paint before, but check this out. It is so beautiful. The paint is iridescent, and there's so much color here. I love this. Oh, it looks great. I think this is fantastic. And this is, again, the Cobalt Golem, so just the way they use the color and the translucent, oh, yes, beautiful, fabulous. Next up, we have the, this is going to be the Miscath Gorgon, once I get it out. So this is the Miscath Gorgon, number 5 out of 9. Just Again, so much texture and also metallic paint. Really cool. I love the green, kind of the green smoke. I think this is awesome and a little bit sharp. It hurts a little bit to hold it because the spikes are very pointy. So that is something to bear in mind. This is one that maybe you want to be careful with around younger gamers. It's not that bad, but just, you know, if you're worried about stabby bits, those are very sharp. So just keep that in mind. Next, we have the Deep Keeper. This is a pretty similar color to the octopus, but it's a very, very different beast, literally. This is number 1 out of 9. It's very frightening. And I also really like that with these underwater figures, they all seem to have a shine to them, kind of indicating that they're underwater. Just the finish is very shiny compared to, like, for example, I just want to go back to this. The Magma Landshark is very matte and very flat. So it's really interesting that they really went out of their way to make the finish reflect the environment that the monster would normally be found in. I appreciate that. Last but not least from this set is the Cinderslag Elemental. This one is so cool. So the Cinderslag Elemental is number 2 out of 9 in the set. And it's hard to capture this on camera because it's kind of a dark black rock look. But he's kind of breaking apart to have this like orange underneath, which I believe is like some sort of magma or fire. And the way that this is textured is so beautiful, and the color peeking through is really amazing. It has different texture, different shine on the orange parts than it does on the black, and it's a great example of the way you can kind of use the paint and the finish of the paints to really communicate something, and I appreciate that so much. So that is Monsters of Taldori Set 1. So this one's $59.99, as were the others that we've seen so far. It has 9 figures in the set, so you have all of these great figures. Now let's move on to the next set. My favorite from this set, in case you were not sure, is the Cobalt Golem and his beautiful iridescent paint. Love it. I like shiny, colorful things. Next, we have the last of the mixed sets, and then we have the 2 premium figures. Sorry, I knocked into my camera there. So this is Monsters of Taldori Set 2. So this is another mix of Monsters of Taldori. This set has 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, I think it's 10. I can check on the bottom of the figures, and I keep forgetting that immediately after saying I'm going to do that. But you can look at the bottom of the figures. It'll tell you how many figures are in the set. So, Monsters of Taldori Set 2. This is also $59.99. There are 10 figures in the set. And the first figure we are going to look at, I'm going to put the rest of this on my lap so that the camera focuses better, is the Centaur Skeleton. And it is exactly what the description says. It is a Centaur Skeleton, and I love it. It's so fun. It's really painted nicely. You know, it's not just white plastic. There's black in there to add in the details. There's a lot of shadows. And then we have actually 2 separate Centaur Skeletons in this set. The second Centaur Skeleton is different, though, because it's Centaur Skeleton with head. And the with head, even though the other one had a head, this one is different because it has a flaming skull that it is carrying. So this is number 3 of 10. And I'm trying to get that flaming skull for you to see. It's great. So they really put some thought into this, and I think that is amazing. I don't know if I told you, Centaur Skeleton, the first one, is 2 of 10. So Centaur Skeleton with head is 3, Centaur Skeleton is 2. So the next figure in this set is the Cold Snap Spirit. It's very tiny. It's very small. It's number 4 out of 10. So it's a super small little figure. I really like it though. It's very cute. Looks like snowflakes. The Cold Snap Spirit. Then we have the Flaming Skeleton. This one has a lot of character. It's really fun. It's number 8 of 10. It is a skeleton on fire. So the skeleton itself is kind of painted black and it's coming out of the flames. It's super fun. There's something about it that has a sense of humor that I can't quite place. I think it's the way the flames make it look like the skeleton is smiling. I don't know. It makes me happy. I really like it. Then we have the Satyr. So the Satyr is number 9 out of 10. I like the hair color they chose for this. I like the way that the hair color and the horns kind of go. And I like the way it kind of balances out the gold on her hip. Just a great figure all around. The Satyr. Next up, we have this is the Demon Feed Spider, number 6 out of 10. Little frightening, just the way I kind of put that into the frame. It's attacking you. So this is the Demon Feed Spider. It's definitely, if you're afraid of spiders, this one is pretty scary, but really well done. Lots of different textures on this figure. From the way its back is kind of, I don't know how to describe it, it's kind of rough, to the different texture and the different kind of roughness on the legs. Just really beautifully done and really nicely painted as well. Then we have next up the Etten. So this is of course a 2-headed giant. Etten number 7 out of 10. I think I mentioned this, but in case I didn't, the Demon Feed Spider is number 6. The Etten is number 7. So this one, again, I really like the paint job. I also really like the texture. I like how the kind of unnerving smoothness of the general body of the Etten is really interesting, in contrast with a little bit more of a rough texture on the clothing pieces. Then we have these ones in the back are always a little bit harder to get out of the packaging because you have less leverage, so it's a little more challenging. But next we have if you want to come out and play and show the world what you are. Please. So we have the Cyclops Stormcaller. The Cyclops Stormcaller, number 5 out of 10. Love the colors on this. The kind of patched together clothing. I think that's so clever and so great. And it really, again, helps immerse you in the world. Next, we have the Adranak, number 1 out of 10. This one has, so it's hard to tell on camera, but the wings are translucent. They're they're semi-translucent. They're semi-translucent purple. They're really beautiful. And then there's silver detailing along the breast of it and the helmet. I really love that. And then last up on this set, we have this is the Wraithroot Tree, number 10 out of 10. And this one, I mean, this, you know what this is right from the jump. You know exactly what you're getting with this. I love the colors. I love the eyes on the tree. Oh my gosh, the texture on this is so nice. I think it's absolutely fantastic. Really really beautifully done. Really great job on this. Number 10 out of 10, the Wraithroot Tree. Oh, I'm admiring it because it's just so really nicely done. So that is the Monsters of Taldori Set 2. The 10 figures in there, and now we are going to move on to the 2 premium sets that come in Critical Role Pre-Painted Wave 2 that you can get. The first one is a very popular monster from Critical Role. You know him, you love him, he gets what he wants, and that is, I should have shown this before, Dieter. So you can't really see him in the box, so I'm going to take the box out right now and show you. This is, Dieter gets what he wants, and you're definitely getting what you want with this figure because it just looks fantastic. So the Dieter figure is $79.99 and so worth every penny. It just says Dieter in giant letters on the bottom. Something about that makes me smile. But the textures on this, my goodness, it's just, they really went for every detail here. This looks like an ancient dragon turtle creature monster. It just, oh, it's so beautiful. $79.99. This comes out with the set, so you can buy it by itself. Each of these sets you buy by themselves, but they're all fabulous. I can't even tell you how great this looks. Like, the camera's capturing it somewhat, but really you need to see this in person to just catch all the textures and the paint colors. It's just so well done. So that is Dieter. And then the last figure that we have in the Critical Role Pre-Painted Wave 2 set that is coming at the end of January is the Ember Rock. The Ember Rock is like a flaming bird. I believe the Ember Rock is, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm still fairly new in learning about Critical Role, but I believe the Ember Rock is a phoenix type creature, or maybe just a fiery bird. Tell me, I want to learn more with all of you. So the Ember Rock is $89.99. It is a much larger figure. And so this is what the Ember Rock looks like. It's absolutely gorgeous. Colors, the flames on the wings. So the flames are translucent plastic, and while the wings are kind of a matte, flatter plastic, but the wings are slightly translucent, and that's super cool. And then you have the face and the head being like purple, and then you have translucent flames along the top of the head. And the back of it is just, they've really caught every detail here. This is an $89.99 figure, and you can tell why. It is well worth it. You even have the black detail at the ends of the feathers. It's just really great. So this is the Ember Rock premium figure. It is $89.99, and really, really, really worth it. So with that, I want to, that is the end of our Critical Role Pre-Painted Wave 2 preview. I hope you enjoyed yourself. I thank you so much for tuning in. I hope that you're excited for these figures. They are going to be great. As a reminder, all of the regular sets that I showed today are $59.99. Dieter is $79.99, and the Ember Rock is $89.99. These sets are all coming out in January. So this month, probably closer to the end of this month, but keep an eye on WizKids social media for the most up-to-date information. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you want to follow WizKids on social media, we are at WizKids Games on Twitter and Instagram, and at WizKids on Facebook. If you want to follow me, I am at _Blackthorne on Twitter and Instagram, and Jessa Blackthorne on Facebook. I appreciate you coming and watching the show today, be sure to pre-order Critical Role Wave 2 pre-painted figures from your friendly local game store or online today. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you have a wonderful week. I love you. WizKids loves you. Critical Role loves you. Goodbye, everyone.